Hi folks, CodeTutor here and my name is Anil Deshpande. Welcome to another video on Android CICD series, and we will continue our discussion on build types. In the previous video, you have seen that it is possible to install two variants of the application, in this case debug and release build types, at the same time on the device. It is possible because the package names of both the application would be different, and if that is possible, then both will get installed. And then we also saw how to selectively enable certain features like leak canary in only debug build types. But we also ended the video saying that this way of writing the code where you check if build config is equal to debug, then only allow certain things to happen. This is not scalable. Right now we are only dealing with one activity file. It's fine. But in a real world application where you are dealing with hundreds of files, putting this if and else condition to check the build type can become really frustrating. And that is where the concept of source sets comes into picture. What is a source set? It is a way in which you can organize your code base, be it your executable files like Java or Kotlin files, or non-executable files like resource files, string.xml file, value.xml file, based on build type or the build variant. What this allows you to do is, based on what build type you are building, build system and Android Studio will automatically pick certain resource files and source code and make it part of the build, so that you don't have to write these complicated if and else conditions. So in this video, we will see how to basically work with the source set. What we will try to build is a diagnostic feature. For example, we want to display some diagnostic information in the application only if it is a debug build type and not release build type. But we will do it without actually using if and else conditions. So let's get down to the coding. So let me show you how to get started. If you come over here, app, this is the main default source set. In this, we will create a diagnostic interface, but we will not provide the implementation. The implementation will be provided in different source sets. This source set is default source set, which gets created whenever you create a Android application structure. So let me come here and let me create a new package. Let me call that package as Diagnostics, that is CodeTutor.variant demo.diagnostics, and in this let me create a interface. Let me call that particular interface as diagnostics, and it will have a function info that returns a string. And then I will also create a Kotlin class called as diagnostics provider. It basically gives me the concrete class or concrete implementation of the diagnostics interface. Instead of class, I will make it object and function get diagnostics equal to diagnostics implementation. Right now, this thing is not yet implemented because this implementation will come from a different source set. Now, how to create a different source set? I can click on the source here and create new directory debug java com CodeTutor variant demo diagnostics, and when I hit enter, you can see that it creates another main other than the regular main. This is our previous existing main that we had, where we implemented the diagnostics interface and diagnostic provide. Now this is a different main which is under debug folder, and in this I will create a Kotlin class that is diagnostics implementation, which implements diagnostics and then overrides info. I will not bore you with the details here. I just want to show some information in this. So this is a just standard format that I am using, and then return build string. I will show build manufacturer, build config application ID and version name. And this is the implementation of the diagnostics that is now present in the debug folder. And now let me go back to the diagnostics provider, and you can see that now this thing has become black colored. Earlier it was red because now it is able to basically reference it from the debug folder. And now in the same way I will create another source set for the release. Before I do that, let me change the build variant here to release. I do it mainly because it becomes very easy to create folders. Android Studio automatically detects it. Now I will create another one, and instead of debug I will call it as release, and here I will create another Kotlin class, and once again that will also be called by the same name, that is diagnostics implementation. Implements diagnostics and then overrides info. But here I will not give the complete implementation, rather I will just return a string diagnostics disabled in release. And now let me open the build Gradle file. Just before the build types, I will declare source sets, and under source set I will write get by name debug. You have to give the path of where the debug folder lies. So the way I write is java.src directories src/debug/java. In the same way I have to declare it for release as well. So let me sync this now. It's almost done. We will modify the main activity. We'll come down here. I think this can be refactored into a separate space. So let me create another separate composable. Let me call it as composable private function debug banner, and I will basically copy paste this under this, and then if it is debug I will basically show this debug banner. So far we have not written anything new here, but then after that we will show a small text called as diagnostics, and then we will write another composable. Let me create another private function, composable function called as diagnostics card, and here we will use the diagnostics provider. So value info is equal to diagnostics provider dot get dot info. So now here I am not writing BuildConfig dot debug condition. It gets automatically resolved depending upon the build type, and then I will simply show some information. So let me just add that here. So let me run this again. Yeah, of course you can see that it is showing some information, diagnostics debug manufacturer model SDK, because that is what we were basically showing in the diagnostics implementation. And now let me change the build type here to release, and let me run this again, and you can see that now I don't see the earlier banner that I was seeing, and still there are two variants of the application that are getting installed. In the debug I can see the diagnostics card with all the relevant details, and in the other one I don't see, and I see diagnostics disabled in release, because that is what we implemented in the release build, and we were able to achieve this in the main activity without writing any if and else condition. And that is the advantage of having multiple source sets. But so far we have only worked with build types, release and debug. But in reality, build types are not the only ones that you will be dealing with when building Android mobile applications. There is also a concept of flavor. Flavor is not same as build types. And what is a flavor, how it is different from build type, and how to create multiple flavors, that is something that we will see in the next video. So stay tuned for the next video. That brings us to the end of this particular video. Don't forget to like, comment, share the video and subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye.